Why not visit Fort Bliss, which is just 10 miles away and has hundreds of unaccompanied migrant children, reportedly in very difficult conditions?
The vice president and the president directed Javier Becerra, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, to visit Fort Bliss, which is under his responsibility, and he's doing so today.
Kamala Harris engaged in an embarrassing border visit where she actually didn't go to the physical American border, and most of her trip was spent at an airport miles away in one of the safest areas of Texas, thanks to Trump's wall. What a humiliation. What an embarrassment for Kamala. She was joined on this embarrassing trip by Secretary Alexander Mayorkas, who is an absolute fool, this man. Every time he opens his mouth makes an embarrassment of himself. Obviously, the two of them in tandem with Joe Biden have gotten a absolute human crisis going on in this country, the likes of which none of us have ever seen. Highest border crossings in American history, highest sex trafficking and child trafficking in American history, highest amount of wealth transfer to cartels and evil people, human traffickers, and highest amount of fentanyl pouring across our border. These people are ghouls and they deserve to indeed be ripped out of power. Let's do that in 2022 and 24. But the Secretary of the Department of Human Services, Alexander Mayorkas, was on CBS this morning and was asked, when you were down in Texas, why didn't you go visit the child detainment facilities that was right around the corner? Children in cages, right? Wasn't that a big deal? Guess what he had to say? Oh, we just didn't have time. Ha! Yeah, okay. You absolute ghouls. Check out this clip. What a complete monster this guy is. Again, people, it's time. We've seen enough. We've seen enough. It's time to get out and vote, to get mobile, and these people, stop them from destroying our country. Check it out.
Mr. Secretary, why not visit Fort Bliss, which is just 10 miles away and has hundreds of unaccompanied migrant children, reportedly in very difficult conditions?
The vice president and the president directed Javier Becerra, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, to visit Fort Bliss, which is under his responsibility, and he's doing so today.
It was just 10 miles away. Why not include it on the vice president's trip?
Well, we had quite a bit to see, and we were able to meet with the CBP, the Customs and Border Protection personnel, both in the Central Processing Center and the port of entry. The vice president was able to meet with migrant children and understand why they fled their home in desperation. She was also able to meet with community members to understand what they have been learning from the migrants who fled the Northern Triangle countries of Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. It was most instructive. And what the president and vice president have done from the very outset is direct their cabinet officials, including me, to address the situation at the border.